ways we abuse our bodies every day, maybe in the slightest way, but that can leave us in pain.
From the shoes we wear to maybe the way we sit at our desks, our expert in relieving that pain, Dr. Christopher Miller, is here today to talk about the 5 everyday habits that we have and what we can do to relieve some of those symptoms that can occur when we really don't notice it properly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I see a lot of different types of patients every day with a lot of different ailments, but over the years we've found that there's some really common bad habits that people get into that are major contributors to back and neck pain, and we're going to talk about those today.
Every time I see you, I feel like I want to automatically pull myself up. Is that kind of the starting point? We all maybe don't have quite the right posture?
That's right. Bad posture is a big contributor, and one of the most common things that causes bad posture is just a lot of desk work or computer work. A lot of times people will be sitting at the desk and maybe the ergonomics is not set up properly, or they're slumped over forward trying to read the monitor. So like in this picture here, that's a lot of slouching going on. So if you have the opportunity to have someone that deals with ergonomics in your business, have them come in and help you out with that. Another big pointer that I would give is that monitor should be really eye level to 15 degrees up. You really want to be erect and look straight ahead, not slouch forward looking down at things.
I'm going to say, and this deals with everything, how high your chair is, where your desk is, does the computer screen tilt forward and back, and looks like just a small variation that can really take you from a good posture to one that's very bad.
Yeah, just a couple small changes really make a huge difference, and if it's your career and you're doing this day after day, you know, it just really adds up.
Okay, anything else that we're doing on a regular basis that maybe can cause us some back pain?
Well, I think the next thing we're going to talk about is high heels, women that wear high heels. So.
Oops, we're violating this right now.
Sorry, ladies, I know that's something you love, and I'm not saying you just can't do that anymore, but what happens is, and this demonstrates it very well, when you have that heel in the back of your shoe, it pushes your body forward, and to compensate, you have to pull your upper torso back. That's going to create that increased curve in the lower back. And just what I want to show the viewers on this spine model here is that the nerves are between the bones. When you increase that curve, you're pinching those nerves, and that can create a lot of lower back pain and problems down there. So, you know, wear those heels for the most important events, show it off a little bit, but at down times when people aren't around, maybe you can go to flats or just take them off and vary your days that you're wearing the real high heels. You
know, it seemed like back in especially the 80s, I remember seeing video in big cities of women would wear their sneakers around and then would tuck their shoes in their briefcases. We've kind of gotten away from that trend, but that's probably a healthier thing when we talk about our overall back and neck health.
Just give your body a little bit of variety. Don't do that day after day, because like everything else we said, it really adds up.
Now, in general question here, what is it for walking around the house barefoot? Is that an okay practice?
I think that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't born with shoes on.
Sometimes it's nice to have the shoes off completely.
All right, so let's talk about lifting, because all of us are having to lift, whether it's, you know, something off the floor, a box, or maybe even small children.
Yeah, whether, like you said, it's kids that you're dealing with or just yard work, a lot of people kind of take the lazy way, and that would be just to simply bend at your waist and pick something up with your waist. What you really want to try to do is just squat down. I guess we're using this image here, like that woman's doing there. Keep your back straight, or do sort of a modified lunge like that and use your legs. Use the strength of your legs, not your back, because backs just aren't meant for that forward bending and lifting.
Right, you're kind of showing us that the improper way to do it. You want to demonstrate that again? I'm not sure we got that one on camera.
You really want your back straight the whole time, so just squat straight down and deal with your child, or pick something up and go straight back up. The other would just be sort of like a lunge where you can bend the legs and stand back up instead of just bending forward with your legs straight.
Because if we bend forward, then are we putting the majority of the force on our back instead of our knees? Okay.
And it's just not meant for that. The way it's built, it's not meant for that kind of stress.
Well, when you think about it too, bending down with your knees, it's just more comfortable. You're more stable versus not wanting to feel like you're going to topple over forward. And another thing that deals with stability, I know you and I are probably guilty of this, we have large purses that tend to get very heavy. That can also be a bad thing.
I've seen some moms, it looks like they have a week or two's worth of supplies in their purse, and almost like luggage they're carrying around. So You know, some things that you can do is just try to lighten that load up a little bit. That'll make a difference. Try not to always wear that purse just on one shoulder. Switch that up shoulder to shoulder. Maybe carry it around at times. But if, again, it's loaded down, it's always on the right shoulder, that's going to create a lot of strain and problems through that neck and shoulder and upper back area.
Okay, and then when we finally go to sleep at night, there actually are maybe some things that we need to consider that can, while we're sleeping, can help us.
Bad sleeping habits contribute to back and neck pain a lot, and what I really want to focus on today is the use of the pillow. A lot of people use just ratty old pillows that are all worn down and matted down, and the problem with these kind of pillows is that they do a great job supporting your head, but they don't do anything for your neck. And when you lie on them, it's actually pulling your neck straight and pushing your head forward. We kind of talked about that a few segments ago with text neck and that type of thing. So what I always recommend is a cervical pillow, and that's what this is. I don't care what it's made out of. It's really the shape. You want those humps on there, and contrary to some infomercials, the big hump is really what you want under your neck, not necessarily a small one.
Like we're seeing this demonstration here.
And you don't have to be on your back all night, but it's just a great way to support that forward curve in your neck and give it the support it needs so you can sleep better and not irritate that.
And I don't have one of these pillows, but touching it here, it's such a difference compared to this one here.
Yeah.
It has just seems more comfortable.
And if a lot of times people say, well, I'm always like bunching that pillow up and trying to wedge it under my neck, well, that's their body telling them they really need that neck support.
Yeah, it is really nice, and I know that you really try to give people those great tools and tricks to maintain their neck and their back health as long as possible. Because what are those problems that can develop as a result of maybe breaking all these habits?
If they keep up with these habits over time, it's going to create a lot of degeneration to the spine and pinch nerves. And what I mean by that, I've talked about before. It could be degenerative disc disease, maybe herniated or bulging discs, spinal stenosis. Maybe they start getting sciatica down the leg, or they get shooting pains or weakness into their arms or hands. So those are the kind of problems that can arise. And if they get to the point that it's hurting a lot, it's going to take a lot more work to correct.
And you mentioned if you are experiencing this back or neck pain to come in for a consultation, and you actually are running a special.
Right, we got a great special today. For the first 8 callers, we're going to do $39 special for the consultation and exam. But for the first 8 callers that come in, we're going to give them a $25 Macy's card. So maybe they use it to go buy some flat shoes or something.
Flat shoes, I love that. Or maybe a smaller purse that you can't quite load up with as much stuff. Right. You know what I love about this, Dr. Miller? I think as women, we often take care of everybody else in our lives, and we sort of feel like, well, I've got to carry all this heavy stuff around. I got to look good. And you really think of it, we really need to take care of our own back and neck health so that we can take care of our families as long as possible.
Right, and what I'm going to try to do is just maybe not have you come in and say you can't do any of that stuff. Go ahead and do it, but we're going to find some proactive solutions that they can work on so that they can keep doing some of the bad habits they really want to do.
The high
and
heels.
and just get their body in good condition so that it can tolerate those negative stresses very well.
Yeah,
and hopefully soon we can work toward everyone being pain-free.
Sounds great.
That's a great goal.
Thanks, Dr. Miller.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be right back.